Hello friends, myself Dharmit Patnaik, Assistant Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutics of Bengal School of Technology, welcomes you to our channel Edu Knowledge Hub. Today I am here with a new topic, that is ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. So first of all, what is ISO? ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization. Here, this ISO is reflecting and it is indicating that the quality features, whatever you want to inbuilt to our product, it will be globally identified and it will be globally acceptable. So that is called as the ISO. That means International Organization for Standardization. All over the country, all over the world, it will be acceptable. The same criteria and same features it will be maintained. Now ISO, under this ISO there are having different approaches are there, or different category are there, like ISO 9000, ISO 14000, ISO 18000, ISO 22000 and ISO 27000. So all these are working in different area of the industry, and finally it is reflecting the quality of the product as well as the protection of the environment. So for today's our discussion, our topic is ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. ISO 9000, it reflects the quality assessment management and quality assurance management, and ISO 14000 is indicating the environmental management. So we'll discuss today here about this ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. So before going in detail about the discuss about this ISO 9000 and ISO 14000, first of all we will have a look about the course outcome of this chapter, what you are going to know about, what we are going to gain from this chapter. So from this chapter we can understand the scope of the quality certification applicable to the pharmaceutical industry, to understand the concept, approaches, methods and techniques used to implement a quality management system, understand the basic elements of quality management system, appreciate the importance of documentation. So here what it is telling, so from this uh, course or from this chapter we can conclude that how we are going to inbuild the quality, how we can maintain the quality, how we can get the certification of this ISO, by which it will be approved and it will be recognized all over the world that we are maintaining the same quality, and how we are going to maintain this quality throughout the process, that is called as a quality management system, and how we are going to maintain all this documentation, that is called as the importance of documentation. So this is all about the course outcome of this ISO. So now we'll see about the definition. So first of all, ISO 9000. As already I told you, this ISO 9000 is indicating the quality assurance management. Here this ISO 9000 is reflecting the features or parameter which will reflect the quality of the product. How we can maintain a quality of a product, that is important in this ISO 9000. So coming to this definition, ISO 9000 is a series of standards development and published by the ISO that define, establish and maintain an effective quality assurance system for manufacturing and service industry. So here it is telling that how to maintain this quality, how the product effectively we can assure that the product of the quality is maintained with a standard level which will be acceptable throughout the world. All these things it is indicating about the ISO 9000. So before going in detail about this ISO 9000, first of all we should have a look about this, what is this ISO. So as already I told you this also, ISO indicates that, or the name of this full form of ISO is International Organization for Standardization. Here what it is telling ISO is not a acronym. That means it is not a abbreviation which is designed or which is written by the individual word letter of the word. It is reflect that International Organization for Standardization, that is ISO. So ISO, it was formed in the year of 1947 in Geneva of Switzerland, and it is a federation of national standard bodies in which near about 143 countries are enrolled, and they are accepting and they are standardized bodies of this ISO, those who are approving this ISO. Now objective of this ISO, what kind of benefits or what is the goal of this objective or ISO? So ISO, it helps to facilitate the international trade of goods and services. So through this ISO certification, you are going to get a international recognition that yes, the company is maintaining a quality which is designed and fixed by the criteria by the ISO to obtain the competitive by obtaining required quality in a cost effective way. So we can easily go to the competition market and we can get the good brand image of the product by obtaining the quality in a cost effective way. Next is the promotion of total quality control system. So ISO is promoting TQC, that is total quality control system, which will help us to maintain the quality of the product in throughout the process, and the same quality it will be maintained every time with the same features, which will lead to customer satisfaction. So now, as I told this, ISO 9000 is completely targeting on the quality system of a product. So it is also having some sub series, or we can tell the series of ISO 9000. So ISO 9000 series are, first is ISO 9000, it is a model for quality system. ISO 9001, it is a model which depict all the activities from researching, designing, building, shipping, installing and servicing of all the facilities whatever we need in a industry to build a good quality product. ISO 9002 series is indicating that the guarantee the production, installation and servicing and about the manufacturing standards. Everything we are maintaining in a proper way. ISO 9003 is a model is restricted to inspection and testing. So what are the process you are following, whether you are following properly or not, all these things is completely coming under this ISO 9003, which can assure about our process, about our parameter, about our features by inspection and by testing. And last one is ISO 9004. It is a model which deals with customer interface activities and service quality improvement. That means how you are going to interact with the customer, how you are going to collect the feedback, and how you are going to inbuild the same customer requirement into our product. That is called as the quality improvement. So this is all about the objective and different ISO 9000 series. Now, principle of ISO. So how this we can execute the ISO in an industry. So first one is, it is telling you have to target to the customer focus. You have to target the leadership. Customer focus means it is telling that what is the customer requirement, customer need, you have to understand first, and the same thing you have to inbuild into the product. Leadership, how a person can lead the industry and he can work in a team by which it will help an organization to reach its target and goal. Involvement of the people, how we are going to motivate the people or personnel, those who are working in an industry, to give their best effort and with their best innovation skill by which the product quality will be good as well as the quality improvement it will be there. Next, process approach, how we can designing a new process, new techniques by which the quality improvement will be there, how we are going to take the feedback from the customer, and the same thing you are going to inbuild into the your product by the help of process, that is called as a process approach. Next, system approach to management, how we are going to approaching the management about the development of the process, how we are going to satisfying them with your process, that by this process we can able to reach the goal or the target of the management or the industry which they have fixed it. Continual improvement, as already told that everywhere we need the continuous of improvement if you want to reach the customer satisfaction. So for that, what you have to do, you have to understand first of all what is the customer requirement, and that will be inbuilt into the product each and every time to time. That is called as a continual improvement. That means continuous improvement will be there. Next, factual approach to decision making, how we are going to take the decision about the problems, about the situation, about the parameter, about the process. This is all called about the factual approaches, how we are going to approach it to changes. Next, the last one is mutually beneficial to the supplier and relationship. So here it is telling the ISO. So if you want to create a good image, or if you want to create a image of your brand, then you have to think about the suppliers, those who are going to work under your organization. That means you should not think only about the organization, you have to think about the supplier by which they will promote your product in the market, by which the brand name it will increase. So these are about the principle of ISO. So one by one we will see. So first one is customer focus. So as already told you that customer focus organizations depend on their customer, and therefore it should be understand the current and future consumers customer need, and should meet the customer requirement and strive to exceed the customer expectation. So here what it is telling, first of all you have to identify the customer, you have to extract the customer need and customer requirement, and the same thing you should inbuild into your product, by which your product will meet to the customer expectation, so by which your brand image it will be increased. So that is the thing here it is telling, from this customer focus the key benefits you will get it, increase the revenue. If your product it will reach the customer satisfaction or it will reach to the customer expectation, then definitely it will increase the revenue. The market share it will obtain through the flexible, definitely the share it will be developed, and the response of the market also it will be good. So that is called as the customer focus. You have to customer target oriented, you have to target your customer what he need, that is your main target, your main goal, by which the organization should fix a target or goal according to the customer requirement. Now second thing is that leadership. Leadership established unity of purpose or direction in an organization. So here what it is telling, the leadership means the personnel, those who are working, they will give one direction to the people, those who are working under him, by which it will be easy to an organization to achieve its goal and about its objectives. So here what is telling, the leadership means the personnel or the leader, he will maintain an internal environment by which the personnel, those who are working under him, they will give their best effort, they will give their innovation skill, by which the custom organization will reach its objectives or achieve its objective easily. So the benefits from this leadership will get it, the people will understand and it will motivate it towards the organization goal and objective, that the objective of the organization is thinking towards the customer requirement, customer satisfaction and customer need, by which the product image it will be created, as well as it will also help to minimize the miscommunication between the level of organization. That means the leader, he will work in a team, by which it will help to minimize the miscommunication between the personnel about the product, about the methods, about the process, by which it will help to achieve the objective of the organization. That is the leadership or the benefits of leadership. Now third one is involvement of people. Involvement of people means the people, those who are working in each and every level, they should think that this is our organization, how we can develop it. They should be motivated by the leader, they should work with a full responsibility, with their full effort, by which the organization will get more benefit. So the involvement of the people is more important for the continuous improvement, because of the continuous improvement is directly proportional to the innovation skill, and the innovation skill only it can be obtained from the personnel, those who are working, if they work with their 100% effort. So the benefit of the involvement of the people, motivated, committed and involved people will be there within the organization. Innovation and creativity in furthering the organization objective, they can help to develop the objective of the organization. People being accountable for their own performance, they will be eager to participate in each and every work, each and every process for the continuous improvement. And then fourth one is process approach. Process approach means it is telling a desired result is achieved more efficiently when activities and related resources are managed as a process. So here what it is telling, you have to think about the resources, you have to think about the improvement, you have to think about the consistency and how we are going to maintain this process throughout the manufacturing area or the production area. That is called as the process approach. The benefits what is telling, it lower the cost. If the process is efficient, it is beneficial and it is going to minimize the error, definitely it will lower the cost. It will shorter the cycle time, definitely. If each and every person will think about the innovation, each and every person will think about the improvement of the product. Definitely the life cycle of the product, it will be also decrease, and it will use the resources, improvement, consistency and predictability of the result. The result of the product, the quality of the product, it will be consistent, it will be maintained, by which it will be completely focused and target on the improvement of opportunities. How you can develop the process, how you can develop the opportunities, whatever we are having, we can gain these opportunities, we can take these opportunities, again you can utilize or you can input these opportunities, by which the continuous improvement will be there by the help of quality improvement. Now next is fifth, that is system approach to management. Approach to management means it is telling that identifying the process or approach, understanding, managing interrelated process as a system contribute to organization effectiveness and efficiency to achieve the objective. So management always they are oriented is that how to reach the objective or goal of the organization. So if you can approach a process by which it will be easy to achieve the objective or the target of the organization, definitely it will be acceptable by the management. So that's why what is telling, identify it, understand the process, manage it, by which it will be easy to achieve the objective. So the key beneficial of this is integration and alignment of the process. The person who is thinking, he will think in a multiple way, he will align it and he will go for the achievement of this result. Ability to focus in different key process by which the product development will be there, consistency of the quality will be there, effectiveness or efficiency will be there. And next is sixth number is continual improvement. As already I told you that continuous improvement is more important for a product quality. So here what is telling, continuous improvement, you have to think positively first of all. So the performance advantage to the improved organization capabilities, alignment of improved activities at all the level to the organization strategy. That means flexibility about react on quickly opportunities. You have to think about the opportunity, about the process, how you can develop the product, that immediately you have to capture it and you have to input it into the process, by which the continuous improvement will be that each and every process, each and every step, then only it will reach to the customer satisfaction level. Next, factual approach to decision making. Effective decisions are based on the analysis of data and information. So the decision what you are going to take it, whether it is for the improvement or for the changes of the parameter, anything, it should be based on the analysis, based on the data what you are having, previous information and data, because this data and information will support you in future, that why you have taken such kind of decision and how it is going to put the impact on the objective or target of the product or quality of the product. So the beneficial of this is informed decision and increase the ability to demonstrate the effectiveness of the past decision through reference to factual record, increase the ability to review, challenge and change the opinion and decision. So that is called as the flexibility of this working, how you can work it, how you can review it, each and every process. The people, those who are working, they will review about the past data, past information, and they will try to think something innovative, by which they will try to take some decision, and that decision will be passed to the management for the final approval. Next, it is mutual beneficial supplier and relationship. As already I told that the organization should not think only for him. He should think about the suppliers, those who are working as interdependent to or mutually dependent to each other, to maintain a good relationship, by which it will enhance the ability of both the create value. That means the beneficial, it will increase the ability to create the value for both the parties, flexibility and speed to of join the responses of changing the market, how you can create a good brand image about the product by the help of supplier, that they will think. So always you have to think about the supplier, you have to be beneficial, you have to maintain a good relationship, and you have to give some kind of flexibility to them. Next, so this diagram is completely reflecting the process of this ISO 9000. So that's why it is called as 9000 store. This is a source of this diagram is from the internet only, you have obtained it, and it is indicating that first step is planning. So planning means what are the scopes, first of all you have to think it, that is called as the section 1. You have to identify the customer need, customer requirement, then you have to nominate it, you have to identify it, you have to select it, then the selection or the nomination of these properties, it should be based on the references. Next, terms and definition. You have to think about the process, how you are going to implement it, what kind of conditions you have to put it, what is the definition of this thing, all these things, that is called as a section 3. Section 4 about the context of the organization, that means the organization, what is going to fix it about this. Section 5 leadership, how we are going to work in a team. Next, 6th is planning, how we are going to execute all these things what we have discussed till now in scope section 1, section 2 and section 3 as well as section 4. That is called as the complete planning, what we want now according to the based of the survey of customer need and customer requirement. Next, coming to the do, that is called as the section 7 and 8, that is support and operation. What kind of support and what kind of facilities the management is providing for the continuous improvement about the product based on the fixation of the goal and target, and operation, how we are going to work it, about the method, about the process, all these things are called as the section 8. Next is checking, that is called as the section 9 about the performance and evaluation. That means here it is telling that the process what you are going to use it, you have to evaluate it whether it is efficient or not, whether it is effective or not for our quality, that is called as checking or evaluation. And the last and final one is section 10, that is the act, that is the improvement, whether in comparison to the last product the improvement is there or not, that is called as the section 10 is improvement. This is the complete picture indicating that the work process of ISO 9000. Next, what are the impact of ISO 9000? What kind of benefits or what is the effect it will be give to the industry after implementation of ISO 9000? So first one is it gives a effective quality by eliminating error. So here what is telling, the process will be examined in such a way that it will be evaluated in such a way that the method will be more effective quality, it will be produced by minimizing the errors. So just because it will minimize the error, the second one is telling that it will help to save money. Definitely whenever it is minimizing the errors, so it will minimize the loss. It will minimize the loss means it will save the money. Next, due to the certification of this ISO 9000, it will be internationally recognized level of quality. The quality what you are going to inbuilt or you are going to put into the product, that will be internationally recognized because it is a international body. Increase in productivity, assess the overseas market. Whenever your quality level is up to the international level, so definitely you will get a good brand image and you are going to get a good overseas market by which the productivity it will be developed, it will be increased. Improved marketing, definitely whenever you are going to target the overseas market, the improved marketing also it will be there. Greater employee job satisfaction, the personnel those who are working, they will try to give their best. Why? Because they are going to working in an organization which is ISO certified, that means internationally recognized. So here what it is saying, small ISO certified companies are indicating that ISO is money saving process, but many industry they are indicating that ISO is more costly for the money. So here what it is saying, it depend on the process about the quality you are going to input. Definitely whenever you are going to get a best quality product, so you have to give input the best method, best process, best facility, best personnel, so you have to invest more. So definitely in that point of view, if you will tell that ISO is more costly, because he is maintaining a standard level which will be recognized globally or internationally in all over the world. No one can beat you or no one can question you that about the quality of your product. Next, ISO 9000 and 2000. So this ISO 9000 2000, it is an international standard. It is applicable for the following things. So to that organization who is seeking a competitive advantage through a implementation of quality management system, who is targeting a market by quality management system, for them it is useful. The organization who is seeking a greater supply confidence that product requirement will be satisfied. The organization who is thinking about the good supplier confidence, that means who want to maintain a good relationship about the good brand image, then he has to maintain about this quality management system and he has to maintain a satisfied level of quality he has to produce it. Those concerned with the mutual understanding of terminology, used in quality management like suppliers, customer, regulator, the industry or the organization who is targeting each and every process, each and every area like suppliers, customer as well as regulator. For them it is useful. Those internal or external to the organization who assess the quality management system or audit it for conformity with the requirement of ISO 9000. Like those who are evaluating it, auditors, regulator or certification registration bodies, for them it is useful. For them, there may be internal part of the organization or maybe external part of the organization who are going to check the or audit the quality management system to assure about the ISO 9000. Those internal or external of to the organization who gives advice or training on the quality management system, those who are giving the suggestion, advice like a expert, they will give the advice to the organization about the quality management system. For them also this ISO 9000 and 2000 it is necessary. Next, ISO 9001 is to 2000. So what is this ISO 9001 is to 2000? So this is also indicating that about the quality management system, like about the research, installation, implementation, about the facilities, whatever we have, starting from procedure to facilities. So it is a company level of certification based on the standard developed and published by the ISO. Title is Quality Management System Requirement. So it is a type of categorized, that means it is certified to an industry, So what is the documentation is necessary? So first one is quality management system manual is necessary. So manual means what is telling, it should be like a book and which will contain all the things, and it should be elaborate easily, and it should be easy to understand for all the personnels. It should contain about the procedures like purpose, scope, responsibilities, definition, procedure, related documents, each and everything it should be there. Work instruction. Work instruction means for everything, like how to do this work, how to maintain this procedure, it should be easy to understand. The language should be easy to elaborate in such a way that it should be clear to all the personnels. Next, last one is forms and records. How we are going to maintain this documentation, because that is more important for the further future to prove your quality assurance. So further what is linked, everything it should be recorded and it should be linked to work instruction. As per the instruction, everything is maintained, so that all these forms, record, everything should be maintained in such a way that it should be documented properly for the future references. Now, this is the diagram is completely reflecting about the model of a process based quality management system. So let me tell that this diagram is also a source from the internet, from where we have got it, and it will completely giving a clear picture about the work process of the quality management system. So quality management system is indicated that you can see the scroll. First of all, you have to see the customer need and customer requirement. So based on this customer need and customer requirement, we will input it, and the management activities and enable it will be takes place. The management will think how to execute it, they will fix the target, they will fix the goal, and then the personnel, those who are there, maybe the leader or maybe the director or maybe the investigator, they will work with the activities and they will success it. And finally it will goes to output, that is called as the customer satisfaction. So when you will consider about this customer requirement and customer satisfaction, in between this whatever the work we are doing, that is called as the quality management system work process. So here what is telling, the input is product realization. That means what kind of development they want, what is the requirement or what is the need, they will think first, that is called as the product realization. So based on this product realization, then measurement, analysis and improvement will be designed. That is called as the quality management system or continual improvement. From this we are going to think about that how we can do, what are the parameters you have to target or the process you have to target by which we can go for this continual or quality management system. Then next third one is goes to management responsibility, how they are going to manage it, about the facilities, about the process, about the personnel, about the approval of the methods, each and everything. And the last one is resource management, how you are going to manage the resources by which it will having direct impact on the quality. And overall what is telling, the output will be product service, that is called as the customer satisfaction. So here what it is telling, the quality management system of ISO 9001 and 2000 is completely targeting on customer requirement. That means it is a complete clear picture. It is indicating that from a process starts from customer requirements and it will ends with the customer satisfaction. So this is all about the ISO 9000. So now coming to this ISO 14000. So as already I told that ISO 9000 is targeting on the your quality management system or quality of the product. So ISO 14000 is completely targeting on the environment management standard. Here it is telling that how we can save the environment and how we can save the human lives based on the specification or criteria of ISO 9000. That means here it is telling that we will not compromise about the ISO 9000 specification, as well as we will protect the environment, that is called as the ISO 14000. So ISO 14000 is a descriptor for a series of environmental management standard that was developed based on the success of ISO 9000 and in response to global concern about the environment. So here it is telling that he is concerning about the global concern about the environment, that means protection of environment. That means indirectly you can see that it is giving protection to the human through and protection of environment, as well as it is telling that you have to be think about the ISO 9000, that is the quality of the product. Without compromising the quality of the product, we have to target the environment. So ISO 14000 contain the specification for environment management system, that is called as EMS, environment management system. ISO 9000 and ISO 14000 are similar in their process. Like ISO 9000 is completely targeting on the quality, whereas ISO 14000 is completely targeting on the environmental impact. So here what is saying, in both the cases they are thinking about the protection, about the quality, about the safety. So ISO 14000 is mainly targeting on 6 basic area. So first one is about the local environment and community issues, like how to protect the environment, about the local environment, how to protect the your land. So next, second one is that use of basic material and natural sources. So here it is telling that if you want to protect the environment, you will try to use basic materials and it should be obtained from the natural sources, because it will be easy to decompose. If you will go for chemically resources, then maybe it will be effect to the environment. Next it is telling contamination or degradation of land. So the wastage or the product it is coming out, how it is going to contaminate the environment, how we are going to degrade the land, that is also more important. So you have to think about the resources, about the material, about the parameters, about the elimination system, like air treatment or pollution treatment, each and everything you have to think how you can protect the land, that is called as the ISO 14000, about the environmental management system. Next, fourth one is waste management. The wastage whatever it is going to out to the environment from the industry, how we are going to treat it by which it will not be harmful. Release to the water, what kind of material we are going to release to the water by which it will not be impact into the environment. Like emission, next one is emission to air. What kind of or what quality of or what is the particulars of content of the air we are going to eliminate to the environment by which it will not pollute the surrounding environment or our earth. So what are the impacts of this ISO 14000? So ISO 14000 is indicating that it ensures the activities, product and service are good for human and the world. So as I told already that it is targeting only on the human only, because it is targeting on the environment and the world. So if the environment and the world it will be safe, then completely the human will be safe. That's why it is telling that it is good for human. It protecting the human health and the environment from the potential impact. As already I told that the ISO 14000 is completely targeting that how the environment will not be impacted by the organization or by the industry, by which it will protect the human health. ISO 14000 builds a single global management system that allow for effective management of environmental responsibility. Here it is telling a single global management system, a single standards will be prepared which will be acceptable by throughout the world. It also reduce the liability, control cost, document a firm and commitment to government. Like if certification of ISO 14000 is there, means it is a commitment towards the government that you are maintaining the rules and regulation of the ISO and as well as the environmental safety protection. ISO 14000 has the potential to lead the competitive advantage for both business as well as the enhancing the raw materials, strengthening the supply management system without hampering the environment. We are going to think about this. So these are about the impact of ISO 14000. Now, environment management system model, how we can execute this ISO 14000 and how we can control this environmental management system. So for this, first one is you have to think about the environment policy. You have to prepare the environment policy. Initially the organization's top management should have commitment and define the policy on EMS, environment management system. So that means here what is telling, the management of the top level should be committed and they should define that what kind of environment policy they want to do under this EMS, which will be used for the direction for the personnel doing the work. That is called as the establishment of environment policy by the top level of management, that how they are going to protect it. What is their target? It should be included in the target and goal. Next one is planning. Planning means in order to achieve the environment policy, at least the organization should have identify the environment aspect of the activities and specify those which are significant impact on the environment. So if they want to define the policies, so here what it is telling, while you are going for planning, the management should identify the environmental aspect which is having direct impact on the environment. They should establish the objective and target of the activities having impact on the environment. As already I told that it should be included in the objective and target about the protection of environment. What are the process are going to be direct impact on the environment, it should be included in their objective. Establish the environmental program for achieving its objective and target. Next, implementation or execute. After planning, how we are going to implement it or how we are going to execute it. In order to achieve environmental planning, at least the organization should define the roles, responsibilities and authorities for facilitating the EMS effectively. So here what is doing, for this implementation, the EMS separate department should be there. You should appoint the personnel, those who are having some roles and responsibility or an authority for cross verification about the implementation of EMS system or environmental system. Communicate to the staff at each level for importance of this conformance and environmental policy. The policy what you have defined, it should be communicated to each and every staff in each level, and it should be explained about the importance of this policy. Provide appropriate training. You have to educate them how we are going to maintain this or how we are going to implement this policy. Each and every level employee you have to train them. Identify the potential accident or emergency situation, like you have to identify the problems where it can be arise, and that should be identified and you have to take immediate precaution for this or prevention should be mentioned. Next, checking and corrective action. Checking and corrective action means to ensure that the organization is performing in accordance with the stated EMS program, like monitoring, measuring, auditing. So here what is telling is separate department should be there for all these things like monitoring, measuring for the implementation or checking of this EMS program, whether it is maintained properly or not by the help of audit. And the last one is management review. The management top management or the organization top management should review and continually improve its EMS system with the objective and improving the overall environmental performance. That means here what is saying, the top level of management should review each and everything about the environmental system and they should think for the continuous improvement. Like I told you that in the ISO 9000, they should think about the continuous improvement in the quality of the product. Same way here also it is telling that the management review should be there for the continuous improvement in the environmental management system. So for this environmental management system, about this documentation, first of all here what is telling, environmental policy, that means what are the legal requirement it is there, that is called, based on this we will fix the environmental policy. Then we will go for plan it, how we are going to do this process, what are the requirements are there, what are the facilities you have to provide it. Then implementation, like execute the operations, like resources, role, responsibility, authority, competence, training, awareness, communication. This is all about the implementation. And after implementation, then it goes to checking, like evaluation of compliance, non-conformity, corrective or preventive action what we have done. that you have to evaluate it. After this evaluation, it will goes to cross verification and checking. Then after this checking, it will goes to management review. So here what is telling, when you are going to fix the environmental policy, the management should assess all these things. They should fix a objective, they should fix a target, and to reach this objective and target, they should go for these programs. So here what is telling, there are two environmental experiments. There are two varieties of environmental experiment. First one is importance, second one is control. Importance are that is completely objective targeted, and control means monitoring and management system which will be controlled by the programs. So this is the diagram which is obtained from the internet source, which is reflecting the complete documentation process or the work process for the EMS system or environmental management system. Now at the end of this, it is here the difference between this ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. So what is this ISO 9000 and what is this ISO 14000? As already I told you that ISO 9000 is completely quality management or quality targeted, whereas ISO 14000 is environmental management, like how to protect the environment. ISO 9000 is customers requirement, customer satisfaction. That means overall it is completely targeting on the quality of the product, whereas ISO 14000 is mainly designed to minimize the harmful effect to the environment. That means what are the steps you have to use or you have to take it by which you can minimize the impact to the environment by the organization. And but in both the cases, ISO 9000 and ISO 14000, one point is same, that is called as a continual improvement. Continual improvement means continual improvement, achieving the continual improvement for objective, achieving the continual improvement for its environmental performance. One is targeting about the continual improvement for the quality of the product, one is targeting about the continual improvement for the environmental protection. So this all about the your ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. I hope this video will give you a clear picture about the process, about the elements, about the principle, about the requirement of this ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. So these are my references from where I have gathered my data or I have prepared my slides. Hope this video will be helpful and useful. If you have any kind of doubts, then you can subscribe and you can like or you can share our channel, that is Edu Knowledge Hub. You can write in the comment section about your doubts, or else you can directly contact with me to the mail ID, that is dharmoji.patnaik@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share our channel, that is Edu Knowledge Hub. Thank you.